Fans of Warhammer 40,000, big stompy robots and Project Mini-Me, thank you very much for joining me for an out-of-the-pack review of the Dominus-class Knight Valiant by Citadel Miniatures. So here we have it, the latest and the largest ever plastic kit produced by Games Workshop for its Warhammer 40,000 or indeed any range. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to unbox it and we're going to take a look at the kit and see what it's like. Now, on channel Leaky Cheese, I always like to do a little bit more, and in my little title preamble I said Project Mini-Me, and that's what this guy's called. This is Project Mini-Me, as in little me, because I've bought this to go with it. So here we have a Forge Wall conversion head, the Imperial Knight Head 6. And there you go. And that's the side view. And the reason this is Project Mini-Me is many people have made the observation that the Dominus-class Knights are very similar to a shrunk-down Warlord. Of course, we know on channel Leaky Cheese we have a Warlord Titan, and this is my Mars beta pattern head for my Warlord. This is an exclusive from Warhammer World. And if we do a little comparisonado, we will see that Imperial Knight Head 6 is a version of the beta head. So, you know, these are based on Corinthian helmets from ancient Greece. Yes, so this Titan is going to be like a mini version of my larger full-size Warlord Titan. So that's what we're going to do in the review. As I say, I bought this kit just now this morning. The retail price for this is £100. I got it at my FLGS and it cost 80. So yeah, we'll see if we think it's worth the considerable asking price. A quick look around the box. Typically a pretty box art. There we go, and then on the back we've got some bump, and it says Unstoppable, a line-breaking behemoth. And it has a little bit of a rundown on the armaments. The twin Siegebreaker cannon, the Shieldbreaker missiles, the Conflagration cannon, great name, I do quite like that. And finally, the Thundercoil harpoon. And those of you who have read Horus Heresy novel Betrayer will understand why harpoons on Titans are rather cool. And you get an alternate head, nice to see that. There are two versions of this kit. There's this and then the Castellan, which is essentially a shooter version. This is more geared towards close range fighting. Right, so anyway, that's enough preamble. Let's get into the box. I've not built a plastic Games Workshop Knight before. This is the first time I've actually tackled one, and I like the Warlord Titan. I just like the look of this kit. I'm not really so much buying it as a gaming piece. I'm just buying it as a fun little project. We get an instruction manual, which looks, let's have a look. Got lots of information about constructing the Knight. Looks pretty in-depth. And then we also get the rules, or the basic rules, for using this in 8th edition games of Warhammer 40,000. We'll come back to the rules when I do a full review. Right, let's get the kit out and see what it's about. I'll move that fella to the side so we can see nicely. So I'm very interested in this kit, firstly to see what it's like to build, and secondly and also appraise the quality of the build and the actual model itself, see how well it all goes together. And also, you know, how posable is this model? Looking at this, you know, you would hope to have a fairly good degree of posability on a miniature of this size. So you get this, which is a big hefty upper carapace. Lots of nice detailing there. There's part of the Conflagration cannon. There's a bit more Conflagration cannon. All sorts of components. These sprues, they really do jam the parts in, which is good from a, well, in theory, that's good from a customer point of view. Makes everything more efficient. Yeah, all looks very good. There's some common design cues there that I can recognise with the original Imperial Knight kit. There's an interesting economic or business side to this model, because the original Imperial Knight kit was the best-selling kit that Games Workshop has ever produced. So they've played it safe with making this kit as a new addition to the armies because they know it's going to sell well. Right, sprue 2. What do we have here? We've got a Siegebreaker missile, we've got one of the melter guns that serve as point defense weapons. Just go back to the box, that's these guys. This is a direct port over of the Warlord weapon configuration. The addition of the centre mounted carapace turret is different because Warlords normally have, well, not normally, they always have 2 arm weapons and 2 carapace weapons. It doesn't have, as far as I've seen, any rear point defence. No, it doesn't. So unlike the Warlord, it doesn't have those rear firing weapons to ward off attacks, probably because its size doesn't justify it. Let's have a look around the rest. So that looks like a nice posable joint there. Do like. We've got the foot. The foot, there's no posability on the foot. That's just as is, so you haven't got that degree of freedom there with posing the model. Yeah, I mean, it all looks very nice. I mean, workshop plastic kits are a very high standard. So far, this looks no different to what I would expect. And then the final sprue, got some more leg pieces. We've got the lower leg armour, second foot. Got a shoulder pauldron or shoulder guard. And actually looking at this, it very much seems to be a mirror image of this sprue. So I guess with this kit, because you've got 2 versions, you've got the Castellan and then you've got this one, the Valiant, you're going to get these 2 sprues in both kits. And then this sprue here is in effect the weapon sprue. So this will be different between the 2 kits. Unlike the original Knight model, they've chosen to do 2 separate versions of this model, so you can't build both from the same kit. That's, I guess, to keep the kit price down. Is this a bigger model than the original Knight? It's only a touch taller. Games Workshop did a lot of very crafty photography with promoting this and some slightly misleading artwork as well. Haha. Remember the picture with the armigers. It's not actually that much bigger than an Imperial Knight, but in terms of its bulk, it has a lot more bulk up top. So here, whereas the other Knight rounds off a bit like that. So I guess in a way it is a larger model. And price-wise, it's a little bit more expensive than the full-on Warden kit, which is £95. Although with the Warden kit, you get a lot of weapon options. Yeah, it looks very nice though. As a kit to just get out of the box and look at, pretty straightforward. 3 sprues, 2 leg sprues, 1 carapace sprue. What else is in the box? We have a, what's this, 170mm oval base, so standard fare there. Probably put some reinforcement on the underside of that when I build it. And then you also get one of Citadel's really nice transfer sheets. There's a whole range of transfers on this. Piping, variations on Aquila, what they call battle on, there's lots of numbers, and a variety of heraldry. So we have the fan favourite House Terran, House Hawkshroud, House Cadmus, House Tyrannus, another fan favourite, and House Raven. Yeah, very good. And these transfers usable for lots and lots of other projects as well. You're only going to use a few on this, so that's a nice little inclusion. So that's everything from the Knight Valiant kit. Now we'll move on to the bonus part of the review, which is opening up the Imperial Knight Head 6 from Forge World. Interesting they sell this as a Horus Heresy component. I don't know if that really counts as a Horus Heresy component. Now, word of warning, I'm not entirely sure if these upgrade heads fit these kits. I had a chat with the guy at Warhammer World and asked him about it, and he was pretty sure that they did. So I've bought it working with the assumption that it is going to fit. We will see. So anyway, let's have a look at this first, because I really like the design. Let's see what the casting quality is like on this. Well, that looks really nice. Just a touch of cleanup there. And a little bit of a mould seam to remove there. Maybe a touch there as well. Not much to do there. You wouldn't expect it. It's a pretty simple component. But yeah, I think these cost a tenner, don't they? Yeah, so they're quite expensive for what they are, but I've saved by buying the main kit from an independent store. So we're going to have some fun trying to mount this head onto that kit. If we just have a quick look in the instructions, and I'll find the head assembly section, we will find out if my assumption is correct. There we go. Here we are. So here's how to assemble the head. It has this peg that attaches to. And then it kind of swivels from above. looking at this, yeah, that's got the same mounting, hasn't it? And just to finally confirm that, let's find the head on here. Here we go. Yeah, so there you go. Useful bit of information. The confirmed here, Imperial Knight 6. So I guess all of the Forge World Imperial Knight upgrade heads will fit the Dominus Knight kits as well. That's useful to know. There you have it then. The Imperial Knight Valiant, or Dominus Knight Valiant class Titan by Games Workshop. Ace looking kit. I love the look of this model. I like the idea of a shrunk down Warlord. So much so I've done Project Mini-Me. I guess the main compromise with this kit is the fact that you don't get all the weapon options, or a number of weapon options. I've gone for the Valiant this time, just to contrast my Warlord a bit. So my Warlord's got Volcano Cannon and Plasma Annihilator for very long range combat. This one I've bought more for short range stuff, just for a bit of variety. But that's a compromise with the kit, isn't it? You don't get all the weapon options. On the flip side to that, you are getting a larger model. I think this is saying at the moment, economically, Games Workshop won't go above that sort of £95–100 mark on a plastic kit. Interesting little thing though, because at the moment with the success they've got, they could have probably gone for something bigger. Games Workshop's financial results were out yesterday, and I just forget the headline figure, but I think they've doubled profits again for the financial year 2017 to 2018. No doubt last chance to buy for Forge World helped. Hey, got that in. Those are all my thoughts on this Dominus Knight Valiant kit. Please do share your own thoughts and observations in the comments section about this really cool looking new kit from Games Workshop. I'll be interested to hear as always. But other than that, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you next time, and goodbye.